Argentina, the land of tango, steaks, and sunsets that stretch forever. But don't be fooled by the romance of Buenos Aires or the calm beauty of Patagonia. This country hides some unbelievable secrets, from lakes that shimmer like mirrors to the world's widest waterfall, to a place where the wind literally sings through the mountains. Argentina will leave you speechless. In this video, we'll uncover 25 incredible facts that prove Argentina is one of the most fascinating countries on Earth. Trust me, number 12 will give you goosebumps. Ready? Let's dive in. 25. Argentina has the world's widest waterfall. Forget Niagara. Iguazu Falls, on the border between Argentina and Brazil, is a monster. It stretches nearly 3 kilometers wide with over 250 separate cascades. The roar of the water is so powerful you can feel it in your chest. When Eleanor Roosevelt first saw it, she said, "Poor Niagara." Yeah, it's that stunning. 24. You can find penguins and tropical parrots in the same country. Only in Argentina can you travel from icy southern coasts filled with penguins to jungles in the north buzzing with colorful parrots and toucans. Few countries have such extreme biodiversity, from glaciers to rainforests. It's like Mother Nature used Argentina as her playground. 23. The tango was born in Buenos Aires, but it wasn't always elegant. Today, tango is romantic and glamorous. But when it first appeared in the 1800s, it was considered scandalous, danced in the poor neighborhoods between immigrants and locals. Now it's UNESCO, recognized cultural heritage, and Buenos Aires still moves to its rhythm. 22. Argentina gave the world's best footballers, Maradona, Messi. Need we say more? Two of the greatest players of all time, both from the same nation. Football here isn't a game, it's a religion. When Argentina plays, the streets go silent. When they win, the entire country becomes one giant celebration. 21. There's a lake in Patagonia that changes color. Lake Nahuel Huapi, surrounded by snowy peaks, shifts from turquoise to deep blue depending on the light. Locals say it's enchanted, and some even whisper legends of a monster living beneath its surface, like Argentina's own Loch Ness. 20. Argentina invented fingerprint identification. In 1892, Argentina became the first country to use fingerprints to solve a crime. A police official named Juan Vucetich developed the system that would later spread worldwide. So every time fingerprints help solve a case, you can thank Argentina. 19. Ushuaia, the end of the world. Down in Tierra del Fuego lies Ushuaia, the southernmost city on the planet. It's closer to Antarctica than most people ever dream of going. Mountains, glaciers, penguins. And a sign that proudly says, Fin del Mundo, the end of the world. It's both eerie and breathtaking. 18. Argentina is home to one of the world's biggest dinosaur discoveries. Meet Patagotitan majorum, a dinosaur so huge it could weigh up to 70 tons. That's heavier than 10 elephants combined. Its fossil was found in Patagonia, proving Argentina isn't just about steak and soccer, but also prehistoric giants. 17. Argentinians drink more mate than water. Mate isn't just a drink, it's a ritual, shared among friends, family, even strangers. It's made from yerba leaves and sipped through a metal straw from a hollow gourd. If someone offers you mate, saying no might actually be considered rude. 16. The country has its own version of the Alps. The Andes Mountains form Argentina's backbone, and within them stands Aconcagua, the highest peak outside Asia at nearly 7,000 meters. Climbing it is a dream for mountaineers, and a reminder that Argentina touches the sky. 15. Buenos Aires has the most bookstores per person in the world. Yes, more than Paris, more than New York. One of the most famous, El Ateneo Ground Splendid, used to be a theater, and now houses thousands of books under its painted dome. It's so beautiful, people visit just to take photos. 14. The sky in Patagonia sings. In the desert valleys of Patagonia, Strong winds rush through rocky formations, producing an eerie humming sound. Locals call it the voice of the wind. At night, under the stars, it feels like the earth itself is whispering. 13. Argentina once had the world's richest city. In the early 1900s, Buenos Aires was booming. Its grand architecture, wide boulevards, and opera houses earned it the nickname the Paris of South America. Even today, walking through its streets feels like stepping into Europe, with a Latin heartbeat. 12. The country banned beef exports to protect its people. Argentina is world famous for its beef. But in 2021, the government temporarily banned exports to keep prices affordable for locals. That's how serious steak is here. It's not just food, it's identity. 11. Argentina has the southernmost train in the world. The train to the end of the world in Ushuaia was once used to transport prisoners. Today, it carries tourists through jaw-dropping landscapes of mountains, rivers, and forests. It's short, but unforgettable. 10. The national dance isn't just tango. It's also folklore. From chacarera to zamba, Argentina's traditional dances tell stories of love, pride, and the land itself. In the countryside, these dances are still performed with guitar and drums under starry skies. 9. There's a glacier that's still growing. While most glaciers are shrinking, Perito Moreno Glacier in Patagonia is one of the few on Earth still advancing. Every few years, massive chunks of ice crash into the lake below with thunderous roars. It's nature's fireworks show, live and unfiltered. 8. Argentinians love psychoanalysis, a lot. Buenos Aires has more psychologists per capita than anywhere else in the world. Therapy is completely normal. People even joke that the national hobby is talking about your mother. 7. There's an entire Welsh town in Patagonia. Yes, Welsh. In the 1800s, a group of settlers from Wales founded Gaiman and Trilu in southern Argentina. To this day, locals still celebrate tea time with scones, cakes, and Welsh festivals, all with a Patagonian twist. 6. Argentina was the first country in Latin America to legalize same-sex marriage. In 2010, Argentina made history, becoming the first nation in the region, and one of the first in the world, to legalize marriage equality, a proud milestone for human rights and progress. Before we jump into the first 5, if you love discovering incredible places like this, make sure to subscribe. There's a lot more of the world waiting for you. 5. It has the second largest wine region in the world. Mendoza is Argentina's wine heart, producing some of the best Malbec on Earth. Vineyards stretch for miles at the foot of the Andes, with sunshine 300 days a year. It's paradise for wine lovers and for Instagram photos. 4. The country's national park is older than most nations' independence, Nahuel Huapi. National Park was established in 1903, one of the oldest in the world. It's home to snow-capped peaks, forests, and mirror-like lakes that inspired entire generations of explorers. 3rd, Argentina's flag was inspired by the sky. The light blue and white stripes represent the clouds and sky seen during the May Revolution, and the golden sun, known as El Sol de Mayo, stands for freedom and hope. 2. Argentinians love protests, peacefully. Buenos Aires is famous for its demonstrations, marches, and flags waving across the Plaza de Mayo. But most are creative, musical, and full of life, proving that passion runs deep in the Argentine soul. 1. Argentinians believe in destiny and magic. From saints that grant wishes to lucky charms called Ruta de Agosto, superstition and spirituality run through daily life. It's a land where faith, folklore, and football blend into one unstoppable energy. Argentina is a country that dances, dreams, and roars. It's beauty and chaos, elegance and wildness, all in one. From the glaciers of Patagonia to the heat of Buenos Aires, it's a nation that makes you feel. And once you visit, one thing's certain: Argentina doesn't just stay in your memory, it stays in your soul.